Hi friends, it's Stephanie Griffin, Ms. Utah US Continental 2020, and this is Crowned Utah, a new weekly web series where I talk about my platform, pageantry in general, and the US Continental system. With my first two soft launch videos, at the very end I said, if you have any questions, please message me. And you did, to all of my various social media inboxes. So I figured I would take this video as an opportunity to answer those questions, and I've separated them into three sections. There were numerous questions about Lynch syndrome and my platform, as well as general questions just about me, and a lot of questions about pageantry in the US continental system. There were so many that I've combined all the questions that were similar in nature. So I'm hoping that if your question was similar to the ones that I'm about to answer, that you will get the answer that you needed and wanted. So here we go. Okay, so we're going to start with the Lynch syndrome questions. I actually had so many questions that I had to write them down on this notepad because I couldn't memorize them all. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and read from the notepad. So the first question is, what exactly is Lynch syndrome? And if you're interested, you can inbox me your physical address and I'll mail you one of these fun little information cards, and it comes with an awareness ribbon on it. And it gives you little Lynch syndrome facts. So I'm actually going to read directly from this because this is probably the most succinct way I can explain it. Lynch syndrome is a condition caused by a mutation in one or more of a person's mismatch repair genes, which are the spell checkers of your DNA. When these genes are mutated, they do not do their jobs properly, allowing bad cells to pile up instead of being destroyed. This pile up can cause cancer. And that's exactly what it is. I have a gene mutation in one of my mismatch repair genes. And so they're not destroying defective cells when my body is replicating cells, and this pileup can cause cancer. Now, what's interesting about Lynch syndrome is it causes a wider variety of cancers than originally thought. It used to be known as hereditary non-polyposis colorectal cancer, but they've discovered in recent years that it causes a wider variety of cancer, including women's cancers like endometrial cancer and ovarian cancer. It can cause stomach cancer, skin cancer, brain cancer. It doesn't look like any one cancer, which is why I advocate and educate people on knowing their family health history and advocating for their health and getting genetic testing. Please don't be resigned that cancer just runs in your family, because Lynch looks like a lot of things. And just some quick facts on Lynch syndrome. It affects 1 in 279 individuals, of which 95% don't know. I mean, think about the sheer number of people who are walking around who probably have one of these Lynch gene mutations, who are just resigned that cancer just runs in their family. So the next question is, how is Lynch syndrome passed on? And I will refer to this little card again. It is an autosomal dominant condition. This means it only needs one parent carrier to be passed down to the offspring. So every time you have a child, you have a 50-50 chance, flip of a coin, of passing this condition on to your offspring. Now, this doesn't mean 100% that you are going to get cancer if you have a Lynch gene mutation. Some people have Lynch gene mutations and never have cancer in their lives. Other people don't realize they have it, and cancer runs rampant in their families. It's a really hard condition to nail down and diagnose, which is why it is so underdiagnosed, which is why, again, I educate people on the importance of knowing their family health histories, advocating for their health, and getting genetic testing, because knowledge is power until there is a cure. And the last question that I kind of combined into one is, cancer runs in my family. How do I find out if I have Lynch syndrome? And like I said before, Lynch syndrome can look like a lot of things, because just because you have the same gene mutation, it doesn't mean you're going to get the same kind of cancer. My grandmother had colon cancer 3 times inside of 10 years, which is totally unheard of. My mother had brain cancer. I had breast cancer. I haven't yet had colon cancer, but I go in for an annual colonoscopy, and every year they remove polyps that weren't there the year before because it is so rapidly growing. So this is what I would recommend. If cancer runs in your family and you are concerned that you might have Lynch syndrome, please reach out to your general practitioner and ask him or her for recommendations on a genetic counselor. A genetic counselor can sit down with you and go over your family health history and order genetic testing if they feel that it's necessary. All right, now we're just going to move on to a few questions that people just had about me in general. So here we go. This first question is, where did you get your crown box and did they personalize it for you? Well, it's right here. Isn't it pretty? I got this crown box from the Traveling Miss. And no, they did not personalize it for me. I personalized it myself. I'm sorry, guys. But this is their Essential Crown Box Plus. It's the big one because my crown wouldn't fit into the normal sized one. But I have a Cricut and no life, and so I was able to cut vinyl and personalize it myself. How fun is that? The next question is, where did you get your heart necklace? So people have apparently seen me wear this necklace a lot, and they're wondering where I got it. So it was a gift from my husband about, 5 years ago. It's from Tiffany & Company, and it's called their Metro Heart Necklace. But I believe they have discontinued this design. But they still have lots of heart necklaces to choose from, and let's face it, Tiffany & Company is fabulous no matter what it is, right? So this one was funny, and because of this question, I actually colored in my eyebrows tonight. So this question is, why don't you have eyebrows? Well, I do have eyebrows, but they're blonde. And so yes, I'm naturally blonde. I do highlight my hair because as I've gotten older and as I've had kids, my hair has gotten a little darker, but for the most part, my hair is still pretty light blonde and my eyebrows have remained platinum blonde. And so I become remiss sometimes in waxing them because you can't really see them. And but I do wax them so I can color them in. So I took care of that. So today I have eyebrows. Moving on to questions about pageantry in the U.S. continental system. This first question is, why are you competing in the Ms. category if you are married? And a fellow contestant actually asked me this same question. So it must be a question that's burning on people's minds. So I figured, hey, why not go on and answer it? So I've competed in 6 or 7 different pageant systems. I've competed as a Ms., a Mrs., and a Miss. And I feel like Ms. is every woman. And if you look at the English language or French or Spanish, Mr. is the same whether a man is married or not. But if you are a woman, if you are unmarried, you're a Miss. And if you're married, you're a Mrs. And Ms. is kind of your generic designation for a woman, whether she's married, divorced, or whatnot. In Spanish, you're a señorita if you're not married, and you're a señora if you are. In French, you are a mademoiselle if you're not married, and you're a madame if you are. My marital status isn't my full identity. It's part of my identity. So that's why I just chose to compete as a Ms. Easy as that. So the next question is, do you have to be tall to compete in pageantry? And my answer is absolutely not. I have competed for years, and I am all of 5'1". I wear like 7-inch heels that I'm not like crazy short next to the tall girls on stage, but you don't have to be really tall to compete in most pageants. All right, another question I got about pageantry was, does your evening gown have to be couture? And I would say no. When I was competing in the Miss America organization, I would see girls win local preliminaries in prom dresses that were just impeccably tailored. What's important about an evening gown is how you feel in it and how you look in it and how you carry yourself when you're wearing it. So if you feel beautiful in your dress and it fits you beautifully and you're able to move beautifully in it, then you've made the right choice on a dress. And the last question is, how many pageants have you done? Do I need lots of experience to compete? I actually lost count of how many pageants I've done over the course of my very lengthy pageant career. When I was competing in the Miss America organization, I used to do a pageant or two every weekend during the school year. So I've probably done literally hundreds of pageants. And no, you don't need immense amounts of experience to do a pageant. You know, the Miss America organization is a little more difficult because it requires that you have a talent, and that intimidates a lot of people. But the US continental system has been absolutely amazing, and I'm so excited for national. So I encourage you, if you're a first-time pageant goer, to absolutely try competing in the US continental system. All right, guys, well, that's about all the time I have to answer questions this go round. But please, if you really do want one of these information cards about Lynch syndrome, please inbox me your mailing address and I'll be happy to drop one in the mail to you. So bye for now. This is Stephanie Griffin, Ms. Utah US Continental, and this has been Crowned Utah. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.